I just kind of felt like a failure. I'm about to just go home. And it sucked.
Go figure, you were the trigger. You brought me to an obstructive view when you know.
Hello friends, so we are back with another tutorial today, and we are going to be getting into my favorite routine to use when I kind of want my skin to look like nice and glowy. We're also going to be doing like, you know, like a chit chat kind of, I don't want to call it like a get ready with me, because I'm not going to be showing you guys like, you know, like an outfit and things like that. Like my hair and everything's already done. So but yeah, we're gonna hop pretty much right into it. So make sure that you guys hit the bell emoji, make sure that you guys subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. So the first thing that you want to do as far as prepping our skin, obviously you want to make sure that your skin is well moisturized. I have already put on my moisturizer of choice. So now I'm just going to be priming my face. So the products that you use on your skin is going to be really important, as well as, Lord, it's just as important as well as the products that you decide to put on as far as makeup. So I'm going to be using my Milk Hydro Grip Primer, and I really like this primer a lot. I feel like it's like really good for if you have oily skin. It's really good for people who have dry skin. I just feel like everybody needs like a surge of moisture. Technically you don't have to use a primer, but it just kind of gives your foundation like something that it can like grab to. So I feel like lately with filming and everything, like I really just been trying my best to like give you guys like content. Like content is like, I really respect like people who be out here YouTubing. Like I really do, because it's not easy. Just uploading things that you think that people are gonna even care about, I feel like is really like an art, because girl, I don't be knowing what to put up for y'all. Like, I mean, I feel like a lot of people said that you guys like when I'm like talking to you guys, I guess. But then like when I was uploading videos, I felt like I was talking too much. So I'm like, maybe I'm talking too much. It's like I literally posted some like very tutorial based stuff, and I kind of just felt like no one cared. I'm also not mad at this foundation mix, low-key. So the two foundations that I'm using is the Lancome Teinte Idole, and I think it's the shade 460. And then I like low-key mixed it with the Anastasia foundation that I did a review on, I think in 470. Is it a luminous? Yeah, the luminous foundation. So you want to make sure that, you know, you're using a foundation, you know, that is going to kind of give you a glow. I mean, we are still going to set our face like in the end, but using a foundation that's going to kind of give you some glow, it's going to make your skin look really healthy and nice, especially in the summertime. And I also really recommend, like, if you're a person that typically uses a brush, I would even recommend trying out a sponge, only because like with a sponge, especially when it's wet, like mine's dry right now, but when it's wet, it really gives you like a really pretty and nice like dewy kind of application to it. So yeah, friends, so I just want to get on here and kind of just talk a little bit about life, all types of stuff that's just been going on. So I feel like 2020 has just been ghetto, to say the least. Even when the virus like first like came out, like I feel like black people as a collective, like no one took it serious. Everybody was just like, virus. I think like I'm more so salty about it all. It's just because I feel like, have you guys ever like just been trying to like complete a goal, and you literally just feel like every time like you try and like do this goal, like something always happens? Like I literally feel like that's my life. Like I feel like every time I'm like on the road to completing like a specific goal, it's just always something, like some type of obstacle just really just fucking my spirits up on the low. And I really be trying like not to let it, you know, mess up my spirits, like, because I mean, not to be a motivational speaker or anything, but like, I don't know, I just really believe, you know, that the sayings, you know, when they're just like a successful person versus someone who is not successful, is that a successful person just didn't quit. You know, like that famous this is pretty. This is the Superstay Concealer by Maybelline, and this is in the shade Olive. So I just feel like, you know, I've just been trying my very best to just stay motivated, like even like with God, like giving niggas like lemons right now. Like I'm really out here trying to make lemonade. If a lot of you guys, like, you know, are from like my hometown, or like, you know me or whatever, or even follow me on Instagram, then you guys know that in 2018 I moved to Atlanta. It's so weird because I never thought that I would even talk about this like openly. Not that it's even like super bad, because it's really not, but I guess like the actual like situation itself, it was just very emotional for me. When I decided like to move to Atlanta back in 2018, like it was like super impromptu. Like it was not something that I planned at all. Like literally it was like the opportunity like presented itself, and like within 2 months I like was gone. Like it wasn't like, you know, I knew that I was moving like 6 months ahead, a year ahead. Like this was literally something that I decided to do like very last minute. At one point in my life I used to be like extremely impulsive, and I mean, I feel like there's pros and cons to like living your life that way. Pro is that, you know, any project or anything that you want to do, you know, you kind of, ooh, friends, I just dropped my sponge. Any project, you know, or whatever that you want to jump into, I feel like, you know, you jump into it head first, you get started. So you're not that person that, you know, is sitting around talking about what they're going to do and then just never doing it. Like that's not you. So I do like that, a small part of that about myself, but I feel like it was really negative too though, because I feel like there were a lot of situations where I kind of feel like I would jump in like half baked, if that makes sense. So there would be like a lot of situations where like I really feel like I should have planned better, or, you know, I wasn't even really thinking about, you know, how the decision would affect me in the long run. Like I literally was just only focused on like the now and like what I can currently like reap from this situation, if that makes sense. As you can assume, that's very toxic. I mean, like I said, sometimes like, you know, it can work out to your advantage, but then like sometimes it can really like fold, because I mean, you're kind of just rolling with the punches at this point. Like you really don't know what's going on. Anywho, I had moved there within like 2 months, and you know, it was just a lot of things that contributed, you know, to the situation at hand. So first and foremost, like again, because this was all like super last minute, like, and nothing was planned, like I was pretty much relying on a lot of people. I mean, not a lot, I don't even want to say that, but I was pretty much relying on people in order for, you know, me to be in Atlanta. Like it wasn't like a situation where like I got an apartment, you know, I was paying rent, I folded on the rent. Like it wasn't a situation like that at all. Technically, my uncle, you know, I guess he was really close friends with my dad, like pretty much his whole life. So they kind of just called each other, you know, brothers, whatever. He had been living in Georgia for a while with his current wife, which is my aunt. You know, my dad had pretty much pitched the idea, you know, that I could move down there, stay with him for a couple of months, him and his wife for a couple months, you know, just to kind of slowly transition like into living in Atlanta, like as opposed to, you know, having to take my time, save up, you know, because I'm doing an apartment. I mean, I wouldn't even say as opposed to, because technically I was supposed to be doing that, but I was pretty much just doing it in Atlanta instead of being at home and doing it, if that makes sense. I had got like this studio space, so pretty much, you know, at the time in Columbus I had a studio space and I just really liked it. Like, you know, I liked the fact that, you know, it was my own space, that I didn't share it with anyone else, like, and I like that it wasn't like my house, especially like with having clients and stuff. I just didn't feel right, like, you know, having clients come to their spot, like, you know, and then I'm not from Atlanta, like, so I just didn't know like really what to expect, like, at all. So I just thought that the easier route would just be to have a space, because I'm like, you know, in Columbus, like, I don't mind, like, you know, taking appointments and stuff, like, or travel appointments and pulling up, because I thought about that too. I'm like, well, really, you know, I could just pull up on people, but I didn't want to do that because, again, I'm not from the area. So, you know, I was just trying to be cautious. You know, at the time I was, what, 23? I'm a small person, so, and I'm a girl, so it was just like, I just didn't want to end up in no like fugazi ass situations, like. So, you know, I thought I was being responsible by getting a studio space. That ultimately was fried and like bounced back on me just off the strength that, like, first of all, the studio space was like out of town, damn near. Like, I wish I'd have known. Like, I feel like the way that niggas pitched it to me, like, they were making it seem like, you know, it was just right there, like, people drive that far all the time, like, this isn't like an outlandish location. Girl, I wouldn't get there. Like, first of all, we kind of knew that it was gonna be fried, like, from the very first day. So, like, me and my best friends, you know, they like all drove down with me, you know, when I first moved, just to kind of, you know, help me move in. You know, some of them had carried, like, you know, some of my stuff in their car, because I didn't like use a U-Haul. Like, you know, I moved everything with cars. So, you know, they had came down with me, and like, it's the first day, so like, we go to the spot, you know, to drop off some of like my makeup equipment, and we're like literally riding. We like, damn, we've been in a car for a minute now. Like, literally, like, it probably took us like a good like 50 minutes to get there. And 50 minutes, I don't give a damn where you at. 50 minutes is far. In my, I guess, I don't know in whose defense, Lord, but in somebody's defense, I was staying on the south side. So I was staying in College Park area, like by the airport, and you know, we're all the way out in West Buttfuck. So it's literally like, I understand that the airport is like far, but at the same time, like, I just still felt like it was dumb far. Like, it was dumb far. Mind y'all, like, you know, I didn't got into that situation. I'm paying rent, you know what I'm saying, like, every week, pretty much, like, to be in that space. And it's crazy because I'm not even there. Most of my clients literally didn't even want to drive that far. Like, mostly all of my clients were literally just paying me like extra. They're like, oh, you know, that's kind of far, like, here, we'll just give you the extra 50, give you an extra, you know, whatever, and you can just pull up on us instead. Like, you know, we don't want to drive that far. The lady who, you know, the owner of the suite, like, it was like a studio, like a glam studio, really nice lady. The owner of the suite, like, I mean, I feel like she was just always just kind of like, you know, you're never out here. Like, I feel like, you know, we can't really market you, like, you know, to any of our customers. Like, you know, you're never here. Like, she's pretty much just suggesting that maybe I just post up. And like, I don't really think that that's a bad idea, but like, just, I've always been an appointment based artist just in general. So I feel like posting up just wasn't what I was on. In my defense, I mean, not, why do I keep saying that? I guess, like, you know, I guess that's my fault. Like, you know, like, I wasn't open to try new things, basically. So I'm paying, you know, for this studio space that I'm not using. Then on top of that, I'm literally filling up my gas tank every other day, you know, just because there's just so much driving. And then, like, I was pretty much just being like open and you know, to anything. So like anytime anybody needed their makeup done or need me to pull up or any type of collaborations, like anything of that nature, like I was basically like pulling. The gas was running out, honey. So it's like I'm spending money on gas every other day. Not to mention, you know, when I did drive out to the studio space, took a hella gas. Like I'm still like buying food every day because I was trying to be like mindful and like not eat, you know, the people who I was staying with. I didn't want to eat their food or eat their groceries. So it was like I was buying my own food, which ultimately backfired on me. Like they were like fake mad that I was like going out to eat, and they're like, oh, you guys got to eat and you don't never ask us. Like, I'm sorry. Like I thought that I was doing y'all a favor whole time. Like it's just, I don't know. So anyway, to make a long story short, you know, we just ended up, you know, just colliding. It just ended up not working. And, you know, that's kind of what happened, like how I kind of ended up like moving back. Anyways, like that's pretty much what happened. I feel like a ton of people, like especially when I had first moved back, I feel like everybody and their fucking mom was like asking me, like, you know, oh my gosh, what happened? Oh my gosh, what happened? And I mean, I guess just to be on a more transparent level, like I feel like it was just really awkward for me because I felt like it was like in one aspect of it I was doing all that I could, but then like when it all folded, like, and I looked back, it was like I didn't do all that I could. Like in that situation, like yes, like, you know, I did have stuff that was kind of pulling my money, you know, like, so I wasn't really saving the way that I should have, but I'm saying I should have literally went and got a job like ASAP. Long story short, you know, that's when I just decided like fuck it, like I'm about to just go home. And it sucked. And I felt like I was like damn near like in a depression for real. Like it was kind of deep. I didn't want to do makeup no more. I just kind of felt like a failure, like all in all. Like I felt like I went so hard, you know, like networking, like picking up at any time, like to go pull up and do this and try and do that. And it's like in my brain at that point, it felt like it all amounted to absolutely nothing. And then on top of that, you know, not that I should care about what anybody thinks, but you know, I just kind of, it burned. Like it literally felt like niggas was like sprinkling salt on the wound, like every single time somebody would ask me like, oh, like, so I thought you lived in Atlanta, like I thought you was out there. Like my camera died, so I went ahead and kind of like slightly finished my face, but not too much because I wanted to show you guys some important steps that I take to kind of keep the dewy slash luminous kind of look that I'm going for. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a highlighter of my choice, and I'm gonna be using this one from Wet n Wild. It's called Awesome Blossom, and I'm literally just going to throw this onto my high points. So now we're gonna just set our face. I'm just gonna spray. And you pretty much just wanna like drench yourself. The best type of setting spray like to use for this kind of look, you wanna use something that's gonna give you a lot of moisture. So I would really recommend the Milani Dewy Setty. Morphe is a great setting spray, but you really wanna get something that's gonna kind of give your skin some type of like moisturized kind of look. But anyways, just to kind of finish up the story with Atlanta though, like it was definitely an interesting time in my life, but looking back on it, you know, kind of like a year later, a year since, you know, I was kind of in my feelings about it, like, you know, I feel like everything truly happens for a reason. Like, you know, like you go through things in order to learn different steps, and you know, everybody kind of has their own process. Like, I mean, I could have stayed in Atlanta, I could have trapped it out the car type thing, like, but I didn't want that for myself. I didn't want to be starving, you know, out there, or potentially not knowing where, you know, I was going to be able to lay my head. I wasn't trying to do that. Also, just be reminded too that life is not a race, and I feel like a lot of us, like especially with social media, like subconsciously like compare ourselves to other people, or we think like, oh, because we're this age we're supposed to be doing this, or we're supposed to have this done. And you really can't think like that, because I mean, you'll be trying to jet and do something like because you think that you don't have enough time, and then you could fumble, like, and then now you're setting yourself back steps, because that kind of is what happened to me. Like, you know, I jumped to move to Atlanta and I fumbled and I pushed myself back, and it's just like, damn, like if I would have just took 6 months, you know, in 2018, you know, and really like planned my move, like I could have been in Atlanta like since last year. But it was like I wanted to go right in that very second, and now here I am in 2020, like, you know, still living in Ohio. I feel like it took me a while to kind of come to peace like with that information. I mean, but it is what it is. Like at the end of the day, like I'm not mad at myself, because you know, I went and I tried something new. Like I had an amazing time, I met amazing people, like, and even though it's so weird because I feel like I was like living my best and worst life like simultaneously. It was so crazy. Like some stuff that I was doing there, it was just like, wow, I can't believe that I'm even doing this. And then like other situations, I'm like bawling my eyes out. So, but yeah, like I encourage anyone, like, you know, just with whatever your path is, whatever your life process is, like, you know, just plan and execute. A large emphasis on execution. Like, you know, just plan, and then when you feel like you're ready, you know, just jump. Like, I mean, that's really all you can do, like, and just hope that, you know, you're prepared. So, but yeah, friends, so that was really all I wanted to show you guys today. I just kind of wanted to get on here and kind of just show you guys a very quick and easy way, you know, to just pretty much achieve like this kind of look. I really hope that you guys love this video, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.